like I'm looking up a very, very giant tall tree. I'm standing at the root. I see a lot of root of the tree. Almost there's like a cave space below between the it's giant. I'm just like a little tiny. And the tree roots kind of form a cave looking into the
Beautiful. Look at yourself. Do you feel like you have a body?
Yeah, I think so. Not sure. I feel young. Not too sure how I look.
You're able to see and sense and feel yourself very clearly, very clearly. Describe what you look like.
Just want to say now I feel like I'm looking at the scene changed a little bit. Grand Canyon in a way. Like I'm looking at red dirt cliffs and I have this image of I think that's me, like I'm on a horse and I'm wearing like a cowboy hat. And I guess I'm a male, I'm a man riding a horse in a cowboy outfit.
Keep moving the scene along and describing everything you see and sense.
I'm riding along in deserty looking space with like red dirt walls on both sides. Not quite sure what I'm seeing, but I'm stopped and I think there are other people and horses in front of me. I'm looking at ocean, just see water. Maybe it's a river, water bay coming into the land.
Keep moving the scene along and describing everything you're doing.
See a bear looking at me. Like a black bear. Scenes are a little disjointed. I try to describe whatever comes to mind. I don't see I don't have the story yet.
What you see next of importance.
I feel like I'm back to the canyon again, just in between the, looks like red dirt wall. But now I'm feeling that those red dirt walls were actually trees that were cut down. So I'm like in between the two trees.
Are you still this cowboy man?
I think so. Yeah.
Tell me what you're doing there.
I'm seeing the water. I'm riding between the land and the water, like the deserty land. Egypt came to mind because it's like desert by the water, and it became desert because the trees were cut down. It was forest before. That was the first scene I saw. It was just forest with giant trees, but now it's just deserty land, but the waters are still coming in through channels. Not too sure why I'm riding a horse. Maybe I'm trying to get water to the village. Maybe I'm trying to fish. I see I'm holding some ropes, maybe a fish net, like a sort of a beach looking water body that water would come up to the level of the deserty sand. It's quite of a lively water, has life in it, colorful. I'm this middle-aged man with beard on my face, wearing, now I look like a wizard a little bit. Pointy hat, some tools I'm carrying for the hunting and the fishing. Middle-aged to older, I have a smile on my face. I feel content with my life. I feel sad that the forest I knew, I guess, when I was a child, looking up from the tree root up to the forest. Now I'm an old man living this life, but I'm still remembering the forest as a child. Growing even older now, I have like really white beard on my face and they're shrinking more in stature, but I'm still riding my horse. I love riding my horse across a deserty area with the tree stumps where there were trees where they were cut down. Now I'm kind of riding on top of a cliff. I can see the beach now and the wave coming in, kind of a half moon shaped beach area. You can see tall ships at the distance. Alexandria comes to mind. It's a busy seaport where lots of ships come in with goods and services, very commercial, very busy seaport, very built up along this half moon bay. I see villages and buildings all along. There's donkeys and camels. People ride them for commerce. I live this peaceful life where I just fish and I look after the village. Do a little bit of lookout when I get up on the cliff and look out to the distance of the ocean. Sometimes pirate ships come. I see this giant pirate ship with a black sail. Pirates of the Caribbean type of boat, but mostly it's commercial ship. I think at some point I fell off the horse and died. That's how I died. I just see the horse with nobody on. No one's riding the horse anymore.
So let's go to that moment in time when you are on the horse. You're there now. Tell me what happens.
How did I fall off?
Yes.
I see the black bear again. I think the horse was startled, maybe. I was riding very fast and chasing something, maybe a rabbit that was hunting. I think a black bear showed up right in front of us. And the horse startled. It kind of like stood up on its rear legs, and I was thrown backward and hit my head on the rock. In the position that I lay there, I was very peaceful and content. I knew my days. I knew this moment would come. I knew it's time. And I was just like looking out peacefully at the bay, the Half Moon Bay, and seeing everything. And I close my eyes, thinking that I've lived a long life, content life. That
Beautiful.
I'll go to a really good place, but I'll be back here again soon.
Okay, you feel you'll be back here again?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go to when that is that you feel you'll be back to again. You're back there now. Moving to another important time and space where you feel you'll be back here again. You're there now. Tell me what you see and sense now. You're able to sense and feel everything very clearly. What's happening now?
I'm in the forest. Looks like almost like the California redwood forest. Lots of trees. I don't know. I think they're less giant than the previous trees, but they're still giant, like the California redwoods. Maybe I am there. Maybe it is California. I am just the trees look very red. The barks look like a little bit bare and exposed. They go all the way to the sky. I see a little bit of sunshine peeking down through the leaves. I'm in a open field now in the middle of the forest. The trees are receding, going backward. I'm in this like open circle, like circular space. Things are changing. Not sure what I'm looking at. Trees have receded. I think ocean wave. I think I'm sailing in a boat. I'm like a small boat and the waves are huge. I'm still in the boat. Waves are a lot taller than my boat. I think I'm trying to go somewhere across the ocean to the other side of to the land on the other side of the ocean. I finally get there. It's a tall cliff overlooking the ocean, rising up really high. I park my boat by the beach, get on the beach. There's some cave underneath that tall cliff. Beach is abandoned. There's nobody here. There's a set of steps that leads from the beach to the so I can climb up onto the top of the cliff. I feel like when I look out, I feel like it's the same scene as the previous life. So I am back here. I sailed back here, but there's nobody here. It's totally desolate and abandoned. It's more deserty. It's just I see and sense, feel the wind blowing, and it's just sand that's carried into the wind. Lots of sand, very sandy, very dry, very windy. I can hear the roaring of the wind. Now the scene has changed again. I'm looking at a blue, very dark, deep blue body of water and cliff face, rocky cliff face rising up. So Grand Canyon came to mind. That's what Grand Canyon used to look like. It's really, really dark, deep blue, and it's connected to the ocean. The cliff, the rocky cliff, it looks like it's rock. It's not sand, it's not dirt, and it looks layered. So it's like a brown color general, but there's stripes of white that's horizontal that makes the rock layered. I wonder what that is. And the cliff is quite deep. Like it's very tall over the water. They're boats sailing on the water, small boats, more of a canal type of body of water. And I'm not sure. I'm like standing almost like looking down. I'm at a high place, top of the cliff, I think. I'm riding a horse again. I feel like I'm on the horse again. Um, I feel younger. I feel like a young man.
Describe what you look at like as this young man. What are you wearing?
Cowboy hat, the Western American style, white hat. I'm dark. I'm maybe like indigenous looking, like American Indian. Yeah, definitely love horses very much. I'd like to ride around, and just like stop at the cliff and look down at these water passageways. It's very quiet. The wind's kind of blowing gently through the canal waterways. And when I look out, it's like plains at my level, at the top of the cliff level. It's just plains and land. And I want to say buffaloes, like grazing. I'm part of a tribe. We have a very nomadic lifestyle. We just basically ride horses all day long and stop when we need to rest. We're very happy. We make a bonfire at night and dance around the fire. We celebrate, tell stories, sing, dance, make music. It's definitely Indian tribe. I see like people wearing feather decorations around their heads. I feel like I was a young man and I had a girl who was my twin flame with me. I was very happy. I would dance with her around the fire. We would play music, banjo or whatever, those string music. Yeah, it just looks like a very, very happy, lively scene by the fire. The whole tribe is there. We will hear wolf howling at night, and we know they're our friends. We're not scared of them. There are spirit animals protecting us, and owls, the sound of the owls, of eagles flying. Now the scene turned back to the daylight, eagles soaring over the plains, wind blowing. It was like amazing life, dreamily liberating, free. How I want to be in this life. I feel like that's the life that I'm trying to get to. That freedom, just carefree joy, large space of land. There's no end to it. We are in harmony with nature and with all the animals. We have no fear. We have no worry about starving. We're free spirits. We fly with the wind. We listen to the wind. We ride with the wind. We ride the horse like we're flying. That's how we fly, like the birds fly. It's the Americas. Yeah, it's the Americas. American land in the 5D. Just joy, abundance, no fear, no strive, no worry, no anxiety. Just live life like the wind.
That's beautiful. And you said that you have a partner with you, a female?
Yeah, I felt like I had a girl, yeah, who was my twin flame.
Anything else of importance that you're being shown of this life? Anything else?
I'm back at the bonfire again. No, I think that's it. It's just a really happy life.
Beautiful. Let's go ahead and go to another important time and space, somewhere else of importance, where we're meant to remember for your highest healing. Another important time and space for your highest healing. You're there now. Tell me what you see and sense now.
I'm seeing the moon shining over ocean at night, so it's dark, very, very dark blue, or just dark. But it's a full moon. It's white, bright, large. So it creates this white shimmering path on the water. That's what I'm seeing.
Look at
And
yourself.
I feel like I am in the water actively. I'm either on a boat or something because I can see the wake created by the movement, whatever.
Yourself, do you feel like you have a body?
I feel like I want to say I'm a dragon. That's what came to mind. I'm like, yeah, I see this dragon. So maybe it's a dragon boat, or maybe I am the dragon.
Keep feeling it out. Let me know what you feel like and what's happening.
I feel like I am the dragon. I'm like swimming in the ocean like a fish, and I create those waves. I guess I do that at night because people can't see me. It's safer. So I come out at night and I kind of splash the water a little bit and have fun, just like the dolphins and the whales. So we used to live in the ocean too, and I look blue. I'm like this blue dragon, light blue, like sky baby blue, with other colors too. It's like how you were talking about those colorful dragons. I think I'm kind of like that. Very colorful, but predominantly baby blue. I think I'm young. Like I feel like I feel this energy like my own puppies, like this very curiosity, happy, like just really, really happy to be playing with water. Very curious about everything around me. And I feel like there are other like sea creatures that come out at night too. We're all just playing in the darkness.
What kind of other sea creatures are there besides you as a dragon?
I see birds or bats that are flying. Dolphins and whales too. Mermaids, like mer people. Almost feels like this ocean is teeming with life. It's almost like a swimming pool. Like everybody is in there. Everybody. We're all playing. Just like you see in a swimming pool, there's a bunch of people. It's quite crowded. I see some fishes hopping. Maybe they're dolphins with a very long, like bottleneck or bottlenose, long nose. Yeah, it's just like we're all playing. And it's full moon, so that's why we're all gathered here because the energy is really good. We're soaking it in. The moon is huge. It's big, 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 giant, round. Oh, it's back when the moon was much bigger. It's smaller now, but it was huge back then. The moon and sun both were a lot bigger in the 5D.
Beautiful. Keep moving the scene along and tell me what else happens of importance within this life.
Yeah, and just the feeling of freedom. Now I'm flying in the ocean. I'm just no restrictions, no fear, no rules. No one's gonna harm me. No one's gonna tell me what to do. I don't have to like worry about making enough money to have enough food. I was just there taking in the elements. The elements were my food, and we coexist beautifully with other life forms. The ocean used to be teeming with life forms, intelligent life forms, as much as the land. We're breathing the water like we're breathing the air. It's just full of life. I'm not sure why I keep seeing this dark. So the scene, it just seems like it's night. It's not daylight. don't know. I'm not sure. Trying to see what happens in daylight. I think during the day, the water is quieter. We don't come to the surface and like swim and jump around like that. We go down to the bottom more. We're more like sleeping. I wonder why. We're more like sleeping when the sun's shining. I think the sun is too strong for us. We can't really come to the surface. But at night, the moonlight is just right. I guess because we're more used to when you're in the water, the sunlight is not that strong. So we're used to that kind of a little bit darker of a environment. So the sunlight, especially during like midday, it's too strong for us. So we tend to hide by going deeper into the water from the sunlight. So we have this beautiful like kingdom, essentially world underwater where we play. It looks like the space in The Little Mermaid, I guess. It's like living spaces under the water.
Let's keep adventuring under the water. Describing what you're seeing, is there anything else magical or different that you see deep down in the bottom of the water?
I feel like I'm seeing this room, I guess palace. There are structures where people or mermaids or life forms exist. So they do have structures, not just open ocean. So there's this palace looking place where I feel like it could keep thinking back to the Little Mermaid, like this space where you could rest. There's bedroom, there's living room. There are even mirrors you can look into to see yourself. And there are treasures, like crystals. There are collections of crystals in these rooms to keep the vibration high and keep the space protected and structured. That's what we collect, our crystals. Yeah, it looks very lively, very colorful, full of life, full of happiness, very social. It's a very social underwater space. I'm not sure what we eat. It seems like we just hang out with the fishes. I think we eat seagrass, seaweed, but otherwise the sunlight is enough to charge us. I don't think we eat any fishes, but I see a lot of colorful fishes around us. I see a giant turtle. He's an elder, but he carries a lot of wisdom. He's like the grandmother or grandfather of the village. He's a little grumpy. Not grumpy, but like making sure the younglings are behaving kind of thing. I see underwater lily pads, like lily lotus flowers underwater. It looks like the blue lotus flower. And the leaves, large flat leaves, but it's all growing underwater. It's our garden, actually. It's our garden connected to the palace. We cultivate exotic underwater plants for medicinal purposes and for eating, for decoration, for energy.
And normally plants and flowers need oxygen or more of a drier state. These don't need that.
Apparently not. I do see bubbles somehow. When you mentioned that, I see like air bubbles coming out of the plants. That's interesting. Maybe they're pockets. Somehow we build in pockets of air in these gardens. So there's water bubble bubbling up from the root up to feed those plants? That's a good question. And I see sunlight, so I guess it's not so deep. So there's sunlight that coming through. Yeah, I just see bubbles wherever there are these plants. There are bubbles coming from the bottom. I think these plants are also what keeps the oxygen level healthy in the water. It's kind of like a give and take. They taking maybe carbon dioxide and spit out oxygen, just like our plants in our rooms do. They do that for us in the water space. They keep our water, our pocket of the water healthy and alive. I keep seeing this purple colored flowers, blue and purple. Yeah, so we have beautiful gardens, so we love our gardens. I wonder, so I'm seeing a lot of different almost like land plants. But there's like an underwater version of all the plants that we have on land. There's always another version of these plants in the water. That's interesting. So just like they cut down the trees on the land, somehow sea life also became very deserty, just like the land. They cut that down or something happened. It almost looks like underwater rainforest in a way because water is just like air. So it's almost like a plasmic version of the air. It's another media that we're supposed to be able to exist in. Animals, plants, all the others, rather than this currently like we see water as like they drown us, they take away the oxygen. It's the water water like takes away life in a way. We see both water and fire. And that's something that's a fear that blocks us from connecting with the elements. But the water is supposed to be just like air, it gives life.
Wow, that's beautiful and powerful. Keep describing how this works in regards to the water being like plasmic air.
I think it has to do with density. So when people become denser, the water becomes life-taking. But when you raise your density, you lift your density, you become less dense. Water, like you'll be able to float in water better, just like for the current sea creatures, right? All of the whales and dolphins, like they glide effortlessly. So it's a matter of your vibration, your density to match the density of water for it to be life supporting rather than be life taking. And the salt, I feel like the salt level is a mechanism to adjust the density of the water, to almost like a dial, adjust the dimension of the water to match the required dimension.
Wow, that's powerful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What else? What else can you tell us? The secrets of the ocean.
The ocean is not scary at all. It's scary. It's a lot of the fears. Like I have fear of water. Like it took me a long time to be able to swim. I still do have fear of swimming in ocean, but it's not natural. Not natural. We're supposed to be one with the elements. Like we are not afraid of air. We should not be afraid of water. There's a mismatch of density. Still goes back to the density. That's the disconnection. We're not connected with the water because of our density. We have to let go of our fear. Fear makes you dense. I was taking the horse riding lesson. The instructor was specifically saying this. When you're afraid, you shrink and you become tense and you're not flexible, so you cannot balance yourself that way. So it's counterintuitive. When you're in fear, you have to let go of the fear and stretch yourself, become bigger, so you're less dense, you're more flexible. So it's the same way. Fear is the block that blocks us from connecting with the water.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thinking of what questions I can ask you.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said I'm thinking of what questions I can ask you since you're in the ocean.
Okay,
Well,
sure.
I was watching
Go
a
ahead.
video where there was like it was talking about how many thousands of feet the water went in US as being in the ocean, and then they said that you really don't know. It's a whole nother world that we don't know of and that we can't reach. Can you tell us more about that? Like, is there a whole nother world of this beyond this ocean? What's really at the bottom, or is there a bottom? What can you tell us?
Doesn't feel like there's a bottom. It's density. Like you were saying in Grand Canyon, there's that layer of density that separates the two worlds. Doesn't feel like there's a bottom. The crust, let's see. I'm just trying to think. Like land is denser than water. That's why we're on land. We're denser. We need this structure to support us. But what's underneath the land is also not more land, right? It's hollow. Like within the earth, it's inside of the earth, it's more energetic and plasmic. Same thing. Because the water is already less dense than the land, so there's no need to have land underneath the water. When it goes down, the density rises. It's less dense, right? The vibration rises, so it's just gonna be more plasmic underneath. There might be a layer of like a portal that separates the two, but there's no reason or there's no need for a crust to hold the water because the density is already so much less. It naturally transitions to the other world. And I wonder what is underwater volcano?
Let's look at that.
What are the tectonic plates, under the supposedly under the ocean that moves and creates earthquakes?
U.S.'s ocean being. Let's look at that. Tell me what you see and sense.
I feel the water is like a washing machine. It's where the density dissolves. So underwater volcano only exists along the coast because it's almost a way to recycle and dissolve the density that's accumulated on the land. Land is where density parks and accumulates. And then over time, land falls into the water to be washed and recycled, and land rises back up. So the underwater volcano is basically the washing machine. So land, after it gets too dense, it sinks down to the bottom to be renewed. So the fire, right? We were talking about this, the elements, the fire and the water work together to undensify the land that's crusted.
Wow. Yes. Beautiful.
Huh, that's why I guess we know that Lemuria sank, Atlantis sank. So when there's density that's beyond, that's going to cause an imbalance. That's how Mother Earth balances herself out, is to cause land to sink down to the water to be renewed. Because the water is like the womb space for the baby, right? This plasmic womb space. It neutralizes and balances everything. So when there's blockages and crusts, it goes back to the womb to be reborn.
Wow. So then that's why the Earth kind of how could it's like took the landmass, say of Atlantis or the other Lemurian lands. So she's sucking them into her, I guess, or pulling them into her to remove the density.
Yes, exactly. And over time, after they've cleansed and renewed, they can rise back up again.
So when she's pulling them in, she's taking them into a womb space that can
Yes,
then be that's undensified and then resurfaced.
yes.
Some of these lands, like Atlantis and Lemuria, will come back and rise.
Yes.
Is this part of the reason why sometimes, supposedly, like for example, forgot the name of it. I think it's Zealandia or something, Zealandia, but it's near New Zealand, and they claim that this land just kind of appeared, or that they hadn't discovered it before. I made a video about it in the Antarctica Tartaria series. So was it because, I don't know, did the oceans kind of spit it back up, I guess, or just resurfaced it? Or
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, spit it back up.
okay, explain the platonic plates and the coastal line. Explain that again.
Tectonic plate. That's the way, like the movement jiggling of the plate. That's how the density is broken up. It's like crushing rocks in a way. But then the fire comes through to melt the rocks. That's the underwater volcano. But these activities typically happen along the coastline, not in the middle of the ocean, because it's trying to shave off the density of the land. Like working on like a cake. When you eat a cake, you eat it from the side, the brim. If it's a very dense, hard piece of or a cake, round cake, then you chew off right from the side, gradually inside. So basically, like how we know tectonic plate movements are what are caused by energy, right? Pent up energy in the middle of the earth. They release the volcanic lava, they release steam. So again, it's a mismatch of energy. Yeah. So in the middle of earth, it's really, really high vibe, right? It's lots of energy. And the energy moves smoothly until it meets with a blockage, which is the Earth's crust, which is the densified part of Earth. So the tectonic plate movements were essentially how you break up the density and send the energy to the surface. That's how you can have energy flow essentially from the middle of the earth to the surface of the earth. That gives life force. Energy is life force, gives life force from the center of the earth to the surface. So that's why you have these tectonic movements and the volcanic eruptions. It's an exchange of matter, exchange of energy between the two worlds.
Beautiful. Thinking about all these different things. So, like, when you go deeper, say all the way down, you know how the dimensions exist, kind of like an onion in a sense. So, would you say, like, if you go all the way deep down, would you enter the two-dimensional existence, or even the one dimension that the third dimension springs out from?
I feel like that's a yes. I feel like that's a yes. So all of the raw materials, if we call it that, that can eventually make the third dimension is parked underneath, like the root. And there's a lot of like volcanic movements, lava movements to crush and mold them into becoming materials that make the 3D world. So they can be called pre-matter, pre-material. Yes, so it would be existing in between the center of the earth where we it's really super like hot and energetic and high vibrational, lots of energy. And from that, like nothingness, the womb space, the lava, the really hot and humid and full of energy space potential, then comes out, as you said, onion layers, the 1D and the 2D and the 3D. Yes, that's how creation works.
And explain to us how you mentioned that the ocean is full of life and much more life than we realize. Like when we went to Hawaii, there was like the first day we arrived when we saw rock come out of the sun.
What is that?
And also on my way there, we saw trillions of starships inside the ocean. Before the starships that look like movie stars came out, there would be like these kind of like darker spots that would create in the water. And then after these dark spots would create, then all of a sudden the starships would appear. We saw that right in front of us, like a couple feet away, like this kind of big energy or big objects of a darker type of spot, I guess. Are those portals? What are those that are happening there in the water?
Oh, guys, look at how big that spot is. See the spot? Yes. Big spot.
Whoa.
Right there. Several. Oh my God, that's big. There's two. Right next. See?
I feel like the dark spot you see is a changing density. So they're portals. It's a shifting of that particular spot of the density to let in from the other side matters in existence of a different density. So they didn't rise from, like, say, the bottom of the ocean up. They portaled into that spot of the water from somewhere else.
Yes, exactly. Wow, cool. That's what we saw. Wow.
So again, water is like air. It's just a different density of a medium for travel for all purposes. So they're essentially comparable in terms of what they are. They're a medium of different density. So water is not a matter. So there's something you talked about in a previous video about like how water is a completely different matter. Like it's just very unique and different from any other type of liquid. So It's basically a plasmic existence. It's there and it's not there, just like air. And it has consciousness, so it's more of an energy than matter. It's more of a frequency of existence than a matter substance of existence.
The water is what interconnects to all the worlds within worlds. They link the water, connects them all.
Yes. And that's how they travel through portal through water, because that's the energetic that essentially keeps all of the worlds energetically consistent and harmonic. It's an energetic and frequency regulator, is water. It's a medium.
Can you say that again?
It's an energetic and frequency regulator. It's kind of the common ground between all worlds, is that they all can connect to the same frequency of the water. So once you, just like you said, now they can portal in because our water is not on the same frequency as theirs. Now we can talk. We're using the same language. So it's a medium. It's a frequency translator. Think of water as the common tongue. It's like the entire America uses English as the common tongue. The water is the common tongue between worlds because it's consistent. Its frequency is consistent across all spaces. So it's from there you can go anywhere. When the frequency connects, it connects you across all space-time dimension. That's how you time travel. That's the connector. 2 points with the same frequency instantly connect together with no space and time in between. And how you were mentioning the other day, the wave of the ocean is Tesla coil. So the water has a mechanism to keep itself internally consistent, keep within the same body of water, the frequency is the same because of these Tesla coils that can convey energy and spread the energy and keep it consistent. That's what waves do. They even out the energy, even out the frequency within the same body of water. Otherwise, you might have different densities within the same water. One part can become dense, the other part. So you have pockets of density, but with the waves of the ocean and Tesla coil being the energy conductor, it becomes consistent energetically across the board. That makes it the common medium that connects to all lands.
And now that the water has become a fourth dimensional state where it's able to communicate to the higher dimensions, does it mean that all dimensions exist within the water?
All dimensions connect to the water. Think of water as I want to say 0 dimension. So it's like the Stargate, the portal. All dimensions can come to the water. So you you go from one dimension to the other through the water. So yes, in a way, all dimensions exist in the water because the water connects to all dimensions. But maybe they're somewhere else. They just connect in through the water. But you can access all dimensions through the water because water is a 0 point.
Beautiful. Thank you. Just thinking what other question I could ask. Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's exactly like the Oracle Delphi course. She taught us how to use the water, the plasma inside our brain, and the neurons to be able to travel back and forth. So it, just like an object on the water in the ocean can time travel, like we learned through the Philadelphia experiment. Of course, our brain and consciousness within the waters and the plasma inside our brain and our body is also the time traveling, say, portal or machine.
Yes, exactly. So the plasmic water in your body, just like ocean cleanses the land, the tidal waves you mentioned in one video, you have these plasmic waters travel up and down. That's how you keep yourself internally consistent in your frequency and you cleanse all of the matter parts, the bones, the tissues. And of course, consciousness exists in the water and you connect to other consciousness through the water. That's why you go in to go out. When you want to connect out, you connect in first to your plasmic water. That's your 0 point, and then you portal out.
Anything else you want to share about the water? And overall, everything you said?
That's amazing. I guess keep drinking fresh water. Make sure that your water is replenished and healthy and not stagnant. And that's why we need salt. Salt in the ocean is a frequency regulator. Same thing for your body. So different people have different salt level requirements because of their density. And that's also why ocean water is the cleanser. The fresh water, it replenishes and the salt water takes away because it's at a different dimension frequency. It cleanses the density. That's why. So to cleanse the density in your own body, just compare your own body to the land of Earth, because Earth's body and your body are essentially connected. Is to intake fresh water and then salt, and then the salt, what becomes salt water, cleanses you out by taking a pee. It comes out, but it's the salt water that cleanses you. Salt water that travels throughout your body, take away the density and pee out.
So then the salt is taking the density
Yes.
with
Yeah.
it as you pee it
Yes.
out, and same for like your tears, why they're salty and your sweat is
Yes.
salty.
Exactly.
So actually, you
Exactly.
need salt to be able
Yes.
to. But you know, the doctors tell you not to eat salt.
Mm-hmm.
So
You do need
then,
salt.
wouldn't it keep you then dense if you're not eating enough salt daily?
Right.
Then the density would stay stuck in your body.
Exactly. It doesn't come out. Exactly.
Wow. Okay. Because ultimately, also salt is crystals. They're crystals. So, and it's the crystal energy that's pulling out the density out of you through the salt.
Yes. Yes. Because the crystalline energy is a higher dimension.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Powerful work. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you infinitely. Higher self, I know you've already been here. Such incredible wisdom you've been sharing through her today. May I ask you questions?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you took her to a couple different places. The first one you took her to was seemed like the Red Canyon, the Red Soil Cowboy. There was a black bear, and the horse got startled, and she passed away from falling off the horse. Can you tell us why did you take her there? What did you want her to learn from that experience?
That was where her fear of horse came from, but she always loved horses. She was one with the horse. This is to show her. She also have a fear of black bear, of course. But any like lurking wild animals, she's not very comfortable with. Essentially, the wild. So that is to show her where it came from. But she always has a love for nature and the wilderness, and she needs to get back there to regain a fuller piece of herself, of the freedom, the mental and physical freedom, and one with nature.
Beautiful. And then in the second life, she was in the California redwoods, giant trees. She was by a cliff and water and a beach, also riding a horse. And then it was very nomadic lifestyle, as she was indigenous, Native American Indian, and it was American lands, free fifth dimensional lands. Tell us, why did you show her that life? What did you want her to learn from it? Lesson.
That's where she always wants to go back to. She loves California. California is the one place when she feels the angelic energy and she connects to it. Especially she loves Los Angeles, and she went back there twice in this life, and she feels like there is a special energy there whenever she goes. But she couldn't stay for very long each time. There's this connection. But that's why she's so freedom loving in this life. She's working very hard to get to that freedom state. She dislikes any sort of rules and arbitrary rules and constraints and enslavement, and she's fighting against that to get to that free state that she remembers, where she's one with everything, one with the universe, one with nature, one with her tribe and the animals. That's what she's doing this life to bring America back to that 5D state, and for her to go back to that state of life that she very much dreams of and can't wait to get back to. No more fear of starvation, of all the arbitrary rules and authorities and everything. That's Archon, that's not normal. We are one with nature in our natural state.
Yeah, she said it was a life of as free as the wind.
Yes. She loves the wind. She loves it when the wind blows in her face. It's just it instantly takes her back to that freedom state. It's extremely liberating for her to feel the breeze in her face. That has to do with that life and the horse riding, the nomadic life.
Okay, and then you took her to a life that where the moon was shining over the ocean, and she felt she was a blue dragon. Can you tell us, is this blue dragon? What was her role there in the ocean? Did she have a role? Is she a certain element, or what can you tell us about this blue dragon form of her?
She's a guardian of that particular area of the water. In Chinese mythology, in the eastern, southern Chinese oceans, there's one dragon guarding each of the oceans, each pocket of the oceans, and that's how it works. And in the mythology, there is a palace under the water, usually with a dragon kingdom with a king that oversees that particular area of the water and makes sure that everyone lives peacefully in harmony. So that's in real life how it works. And that's her role as the blue dragon, is to, because the universe is blue, so she is the blue dragon for that area of the ocean. And she enjoys herself very much too, but she's also making sure that everyone else is enjoying themselves.
Beautiful. And what else can you tell us about why you showed her the ocean? What did you want her to learn from all of that? That was such powerful, important knowledge you shared with us. Thank you.
She is very much connected to the water, but she has a fear of water in this life, same thing as she has a fear of the horses in this life. So these are the things that she was so naturally a part of in her previous lives, in her entire existence, that is blocked in this life that she's working to overcome. So that's a big part, is to get her more comfortable with the water, knowing that the water is not a life taker, it's a life giver. It's a medium. It's how you connect to the universe and the multiverse. So she always loves the ocean. She has a sailboat. She sails, and she in previous years spent a lot of time going to beach vacations and snorkeling and scuba diving, spending time on the beach. So that's where it came from. But most modern people, their interaction with the ocean is very, very, very limited and very artificial. They would go to a 5-star beach resort and spend a week there and do all-you-can-eat buffet and drink a bunch, which is very inverted, and they go home, go back to a big city life. So they haven't even started to scratch the surface of how ocean is rejuvenating and renewing. And it's a life giver for all humanity, not just humanity, all life on Earth and in the multiverse. So be not afraid of ocean's power. Just like you were saying in your North Pole channeling, it can take you, same way it can destroy you, it can take you to where you want to go. It destroys the inverted, but the organic works with the water in harmony. So tap into water's power and cleansing and rejuvenating of powers more by connecting with the ocean more and spending more time with the ocean. And instead of being fearful of the ocean, love the ocean, talk to the ocean, listen to the ocean, and swim in it just like the blue dragon, one with the water, and you'll be free. You'll be powerful. You'll be cleansed and renewed and organic and have all the joy and laughter and love for the organic life. Ocean is the life giver. All people on Earth should spend more time in the ocean and connect to the ocean in a non-artificial way.
Beautiful. Thank you. Incredible. Okay.
Her dog's name is Ariel, by the way, which is the name the Disney princess, the mermaid. So there's a lot of connection to ocean.
Oh, good. I know that was her original name, right?
Yes, I think she's keeping it.
I think that's a very beautiful name and suits her well. Thank you, higher self. Okay.
Thank you.
So looking at that now, I don't have any questions. I feel like I asked a lot during the water. So thank you for that. That was incredible information.
Thank you.
All right, higher self. At this point, we've finished up the past lives. So is this a good time to begin her body scan, higher self?
Yes, it is.
Okay, let's go ahead and begin that now. All right, who would you like to call forth upon higher self to assist during her body scan? Any ascended masters or archangels?
Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael.
Michael and Raphael. Okay, higher self, I'd like to speak to Archangel Michael now.
Greetings.
Greetings, Michael. Feel your beautiful, strong energy here. We love you, honor you, and respect you.
Thank you. Love you.
Thank you. And now can we speak to Archangel Raphael?
Hi, I'm here.
Greetings, Raphael. Love you, honor you, and respect you. Thank you as well for being here.
Thank you. Love you.
Thank you. All right, Raphael and Michael, if you can assist now the higher self to ensure that we heal everything for her today, okay?
Yes, will do.
Let's begin her body scan now, higher self. I ask that all the healing that is done today, if you could ensure that all the healing and removal of inversions are done within the entirety of the tree of life through all lifetime and space of hers.
Yes, will do.
Thank you, higher self. And let's go ahead and begin her body scan. Let's scan her. Where would you like to begin at in her body? Tell us
Her
what.
head, She's been having a headache lately. Part of it is opening up her third eye, but part of it I feel there's some blockages energetically through her vision. She mentioned her vision's blocked. There's some blockage there, probably through past lives, but also through early childhood indoctrination.
Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and scan her head. Are there any negative energies, entities, or technologies that are causing this?
I feel like there's some energetic, technological device, looks like, in her head, in the middle of her third eye.
What is it? An implant? A hook? What kind of technology?
It
Technological?
feels like an implant.
Okay, let's go ahead and start directing Phoenix Fire there now to the third eye, you said?
The middle of the third eye, with having to do with the vision.
Okay, middle of the third eye now. Implant there, Phoenix firing, source flame, transmuting the implant there in her third eye, middle third eye. Now, eradicating, transmuting it now out of her third eye now.
Thank you. I'm feeling the heat.
Let's keep transmuting that out and tell me, when did that attach there to her third eye?
In a previous life, to take her power, she's too powerful, so take her power away. And it's kept with her. Early childhood too, had a lot of programming through the TV. It's just to dumb her down, prevent her from being too powerful. She has all the other senses working pretty well, but this one is especially blocked. So for a long time in her earlier life, she felt like she was blind. She felt like she couldn't connect to her own inner knowing, and she had to follow rules of the society, of the school, of the parents. That served her for her to gain the wisdom and the knowledge and the path, to be on the path that she's on now, but that blockage is no longer needed.
Good, thank you.
It's time for her to get all of her power back. She needs them now, and she's very powerful.
Beautiful. Start the process now. Higher self. I'll be here, regain all that, healing all trauma that this implant caused by being there in her third eye.
Yes.
Thank you, Raphael, assisting with that. Thank you.
Yes.
Phoenix Fire. Continue to work on that. We'll check on that one that's completely transmuted out. We're looking for any entities. Let's scan her now. We want to make sure she has no entities in her. Scan her deeply, thoroughly. Higher self and team. Are there any entities in her?
I'm feeling the shoulders.
What's within the shoulders? What kind of entity is that? A reptilian, archon, or earthbound?
There's something that feels like a chain, like attaches to her shoulders, but also blocks her breath a little bit. So come from the middle of the chest, attaches to the shoulders. It's almost like a slavery chain, the remnant of it, to prevent her from finally being 100% free.
Let's go ahead and Phoenix Fire and start transmuting that chain there. Tell me, when did it attach to her shoulders?
A previous life.
And what was going on with her then that allowed for it to attach? We can start healing.
She feels like it's a Native American life where she was taken as a slave. So that chain stayed with her energetically.
Thank you. We're transmuting that out and we're healing that life trauma as well in any ways that it's affecting her now. Thank you. Transmuting that Phoenix Fire. And then, is it gone, or are you still going to work on it?
I'm still working on it. Please send more Phoenix Fire to it.
Directing Phoenix Fire now, as well to the third eye. Phoenix Fire to both. Keep working on that, and we'll check on when that's gone. We're going to scan her again. I want to make sure she has no entities in her. We know that she's done a lot of work, so she's probably not going to have too many, attachments, but scan her again, deeply, thoroughly, looking inside all organic matter. Does she have any other entities?
I feel like this one's very elusive. That it's probably the last one that's remaining that interferes with her thought form. She can feel it. Like, she can recognize it's not her, but it kind of lurks around to cause like negative thoughts, essentially. Not sure of the location. It kind of swims around and it feels like a reptilian. Maybe in the lower back, because that's where all of her spinal issues originated from. And her mother has the same lower back pain, lower lumbar disc herniation issue. So maybe that's ancestral, that got passed on to her, a piece of the reptilian.
Okay, let's scan that. Is it generational? Do we need to heal that within her DNA and bloodline?
Yes.
Good, let's start doing that now. Phoenix Fire, transmuting that. And is there a reptilian kind of energy there, or DNA? You mentioned reptilian?
Yes, a piece of reptilian DNA.
Okay, let's go ahead and contain that with the symbols, and let's start integrating that reptilian there from the DNA now and the family lineage. Are you doing that now?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's check her DNA as well and see if there are any other negative aliens integrated into the DNA or any nano or AI. Let me know if there's anything else.
Looks clean.
Beautiful. While you're working on the DNA, go ahead and further crystallizing the DNA and deprogramming any false belief systems within the DNA now. Can you do that?
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, higher self, by the way, for the puppies. The current dog is barking because the puppies are outside.
You're welcome. They're very cute.
Such an incredible journey that you assisted her to get them to us instantly when they came home. Higher self, I was having a hard time getting practitioners, and that same night I got one.
Oh.
Yeah, just a sign to prove that they're helping, in whatever ways that they're helping, especially through the sacred teachings, to help people walk their most organic timelines and families. So I appreciate them, and I appreciate especially her, Cindy, for going on that journey. I know it was not that easy, so I appreciate it.
You're welcome from both of us.
Thank you. Yeah, I know that they are also doing that to her home and shifting and orbiting her space higher.
Yeah, all 4 of them are working together. They anchor, it's like an anchor across between Chicago and Seattle. If you think about it, that's a massed piece of land. That's basically the northwest of America that was veiled. If you look on the old maps, this big area, basically from the Midwest all the way to the west, that part is actually a lot of it is does not show on maps. It's shown as like a mysterious missing piece because it was veiled. It was the last piece to be unveiled. Even after they discovered America from the east side, that piece is still very much unveiled or veiled, and it took a long time for them to get to. It was protected by Bigfoot and a lot of magic creatures. So it's a very sacred piece of land. So the dragons are essentially now anchoring on both sides of this piece of land and returning or up-leveling its energy back to its highest original state.
Wow, that's powerful. Thank you, herself.
Sure. You're welcome.
Okay, and then let's continue to scan her. Scanning her again. Can you confirm there are no other entities in her? Scan her deeply, thoroughly. Let me know.
Yes, she's good.
Beautiful. Thank you. Can you scan her, making sure she does not have any reptilian skin or ink?
It feels like the bump that she said with her wrist, she has some other bumps onto her skin, is part of that detoxing, just getting the remnants out, it looks like.
Okay, yeah, she was asking about that. Good. So let's direct anywhere else there to her wrist or anywhere else where these bumps are at. Phoenix firing and transmuting that detox now. Thank you.
Yeah. Her energy is too high. They cannot stay, so they're being kicked out.
Wonderful. Thank you. So that's being cleared. Phoenix fire, source of light, anywhere in her body where she needs it now. Thank you. Okay. Can we scan her for any negative cords? Does she have any?
No, she cut out cords. She does that every day in her shielding.
Beautiful. And then again, asking for the healing, because that's one of the things she asked for, the shoulder and sciatical's nerve there, healing that disc coordination there as well, and healing her right hip. Nerve issues, healing all her nerves. Can we do all that now?
Yes.
Okay. And we're also going to heal her eyesight.
Yes.
And then I know we found that implant in her third eye, so healing her eyesight, and then also stigmatism. Can we scan that? Is it an issue or is it a superpower, or can we heal her though from her eyesight?
It is a superpower, but because the blockage, it becomes kind of a liability in a way. But once the blockage is healed, it is a superpower. Right now, it's kind of a disabled superpower.
So let's start working on her vision there and making sure that she's able to see clearly.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, and then start looking at. Okay, and then can you scan her for any other types of negative technologies in her, like implants, hooks, metals, rods, wires, making sure she has no other negative technologies in her? Let me know.
No, she feels very organic.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for confirming that. Can we scan her soul? Is her soul whole? There are no fractured soul pieces missing?
Feels like there's a piece that needs to be incorporated.
Okay, go ahead, Michael. Find that piece and then let us know once you have it.
Yes, have it.
Beautiful. Go ahead and hand off that piece to her higher self and Archangel Raphael to start healing. And then once that fractured soul piece is healed, can we further then heal and making sure that her soul is whole once more.
Yes, will do.
And then can we scan her for any negative contracts? Does she have any?
No, feels clear.
Beautiful, thank you. And then scan her for if we could heal her, any dental as well besides her vision. And then can we age regress her? How many years can we age regress her herself?
Yes, 10 years.
Good, start the process now. And then can we heal all her chakras, making sure none are blocked or misaligned, and opening up her third eye further, activating her abilities, as well as expanding her heart, and any issues with the auric field. Can you do that now?
Yes.
And then we're going to ask for the healing of her tree of life. And within her tree of life, higher self, I ask that you delete all inverted timelines of hers through all lifetime of space.
Yes, done.
Thank you. And can we scan her tree? Are there any holograms or clones made of her tree of life?
No, it's clear.
Beautiful. And then can I ask that all healing of current life and past life trauma is done within the entirety of her tree of life?
Yes.
As well as I ask that the entirety of her tree, the trunk, the branches inside the roots, the soil, the elements, all elements surrounding her tree of life is healed.
Yes.
As well as her twin flames tree of life.
Yes.
As his higher self allows. Thank you. Thank you, higher self. At this point, I ask her entire body scan list. Can you confirm that her body scan is complete before I ask the rest of her questions?
Yes, we're good.
Beautiful. Thank you, higher self. Thank you. Okay, so she has a couple questions. She wants to know, so is there an energetic blockage to her abundance? Why does she always feel stressed about finances?
Part of it is to help her completely be rid of her financial of her stress or worry about financial lack. Not real lack, but her worry that is in her lineage. So she's here to break that bind. And that applies generally to the entire Chinese and Asian population, is that they use the financial lack. There were a lot of trauma that happened on that land over the last 100 years, like wars, like famine. There was a specific famine in the 1960s that killed millions of people. That's way worse than the Irish famine, but it's not talked about on this side of the world. So there's a lot of trauma having to do with the lack, with death, with not being provided for, and that's how the government control the people through the lack. So it's deeply, deeply ingrained in the Chinese mentality. So not just her lineage, but all of her clients that she sees. So she's here to break that. So in order to do that, she has to break that in her first. That's why she's still struggling with it, even though she's done a lot of work and almost free from it. That's just her remaining work she has to do to be completely free of that bind. That's a shackle that enslaves the entire Chinese population. So what's remaining in her is still this remnant of worrying about not having enough to live. And that really comes from this not being in the present and not trusting that she's provided for in the present from moment to moment. Every now moment she's connected and provided for and safe. So there's this remnant of the tendency, a lot better. It was way worse before. And again, generally in the entire nation of people, to look ahead, to save. It's not enough to save for 1 year. You have to save for 20 years, 50 years. You have to save, and you have to pass that savings down to the next generation to make sure that your children don't starve. So you really look ahead and anticipate the worst and try to brace against the worst. And that's not where you want to be, because once you anticipate and brace, you solidify that worst case scenario. Whereas everything's energetic, everything is quantum. So you want to be flexible, like she learned in the horse riding lesson. You want to be flexible and big and take each impact as they come rather than brace and shrink and anticipate. That you essentially dense down the energetic into the matter and becomes linear, but the world is not linear. So it's a different type of mindset that she has to be used to. She's already 80% there. So it's just more work she needs to do to understand that she's flexible. She does not need to brace. She does not need to anticipate. To just be flexible and be connecting to the universe from moment to moment, every now moment, and she will be provided for. Like she likes to think of the in Costa Rica, she has a property and this river, beautiful river that flows from the top of the mountain down to the valley through, like her property is adjacent to the water, so through a part of her property. So she likes to think of the river as the river never hoards, right? Every drop of water the the river receives, it sends downstream. So there's no lack when you can be provided for from moment to moment. There's really no need to have more than what you need. So that's a shift of mindset. In order to feel safe, usually people feel like I need to have something to feel safe, but you have everything you need. So the water doesn't hoard, doesn't save up for tomorrow. The river just sends off everything that it receives from moment to moment. That's how you keep and the water fresh and alive. So that's how it should be in the financial. But of course, it's all the inverted teachings that make everybody hoard, that makes the entire water system dead and rotten. So it's just part of reforming the system that she's has a big job in. So she has to change it in herself first, and then she needs to start changing people from her, starting from her clients. And then once everybody knows that, then there's never going to be any lack anymore because no one's going to have to rob Peter to save Mary to save up in case they starve to brace for the worst case scenario. That's just so inverted. Should completely abandon that mindset.
Wow, that's so powerful. So there's never a lack because, I mean, you're given exactly what you need when it's time. It's just need to wait for that time to be given it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
The anticipation part actually densifies you and you're focusing because how energy works is it's multidimensional, it's quantum, right? All possibilities exist in the now. But to anticipate something, you densify all of that possibility to a particular linear pathway. And that's not how it works. That's how Archon controls people by having people anticipate. So do not anticipate. Just let go, like riding a horse. Let go, be flexible, be big, take every moment as they come. And you're always connected that way because when you anticipate, you're also not connected. You're not connected to the now. You're worried about the future now. So in order to be, if you're 100% connected at all times, then you're 100% provided for. And I mean, you're part of the organic system. There's no such thing as lack, right? It's like a river. You receive and you give. You're always even. Of course, the river is going to come to you because the next person downstream also needs the water. So you're just passing whatever you receive downstream. That's how the ecosystem should work. If you hoard, if you're the segment of the river, you're like, I'm gonna hoard, and in case I don't receive water tomorrow, then the next segment is not going to receive anything. So it just breaks the fluidity. It doesn't circulate anymore. It cuts off the circulation.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you. Next one here. We answered that. Can we go ahead and clear all her properties that she currently has and what is meant to stay will stay, and then otherwise everything else will flow?
Yes, we'll do that. We'll renew the energy of the properties because when she got some of the properties, there was a lack or a fear, a hoarding, a saving type of mentality that went into it. So they need to be cleansed and renewed with the new energy in order to set them free.
Good. Do that now. Thank you. Okay. Wow. Powerful. Higher self, can you also confirm once more that the chains are released from her shoulders as well as the reptilian type of energy that was in her DNA and then the implant in her third eye? Have all of these been removed from within her?
Yes, they have been cleared.
Beautiful. Let's go ahead and provide source of light and Phoenix fire to the DNA, healing that now, filling in those spaces with source of light as well as her shoulders and then her third eye. Phoenix fire, any residue left behind. Thank you. Powerful session. Thank you, higher self. I'd love to share, especially the part of the water. Is it okay if we share it?
Yes, please. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. All right, higher self, at this point, I've asked all the questions she's had. We conducted the body scan. Higher self, is there anything else that I could have asked that I haven't?
No, we're good.
Thank you, higher self. Can you confirm we set her up for her most organic timeline?
Yes, we have. Thank you for your beautiful work.
Thank you. What a blessing. Thank you, higher self. All right, higher self, I'm going to go ahead and bring her back. You want to give her one final loving message?
I love her so much. I am her. She is me. She can feel me now every second. And she's really happy now. She's having that internal dialogue from moment to moment. And I will continue to be here for her as I am her and she is me. And we're doing this together.
Wow. I can feel that. That is most beautiful. Thank you, higher self. All right, higher self, I'm going to bring her back. Thank you once more, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, anyone else who assisted today with her healing. I love you, honor you, respect you. Our love to everyone.
Thank you. Love you, honor you, respect you. Thank you.
Welcome back. Take your time when you're ready. Whew, yeah. You can sit up and drink
Wow.
some water. Wow, for sure. That was incredible.
I know. I didn't know I could do this.
Wow, yeah. Wow. That was so good.
Yeah.
Drink water.
Okay.
I love how long and beautiful your hair is getting. It looks good on you.
Thank you. I'm feeling the Kuan Yin energy.
Yeah, for sure. That's what you're vibing there.
Mm. Yeah, I saw all of you got a nice haircut. I'm like, shall I cut my hair? I'm like, no, I don't know. I want to save it.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I did that for like 6 years. I was like, it's time. Thank you.
And my
Thank you.
hair is getting healthier too. Before I had to
That's
cut it at
good.
this length because it started to get really frizzy.
Yeah,
But now it's healthier. I think the Aura session definitely helps.
for sure.
Hmm.
Beautiful. That was incredible. I'm excited to share the ocean part. Yay.
I know. I'm learning too. As I'm saying
That's
it.
so
Like,
cool.
whoa.
I'm excited to listen back to it and get more like
Yeah.
information when I listen back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Wow.
interesting when I'm in it. I'm just like, duh, this is how it works.
I know, right? If we could only learn how to breathe that and be that all day long.
Yeah.
But you're doing it, they said, because you're really dialoguing and being one with your higher self. I
Yeah,
love that.
exactly. Yeah.
I'm so thankful for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me to where I am now. It's couldn't have done it without you. Yeah.
Well, yes, yes. I held the space and assisted, but you did it. You're so incredible. You know, you could have done an inverted choice, but no, you stayed in your heart and you're like, no, I'm gonna do this for myself.
Well, it feels the best, you know? It feels great. Why
Yeah.
not?
Right? Of course. Feels so good. Wow. Awesome. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Very good. Yeah, thank
Yay.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you, honor you, respect you. And I'll see you next time. Okay, beautiful?
Yes. See you soon.
Okay. See you soon.
Yeah,
Bye,
bye.
love. Safe travels.
Okay, yeah.